All right, so today we've got Cam here. And whoa. And she's gonna be spraying for the first time. So tell us what we got here, Cam.
We got a Subaru Legacy 2015.
Yeah.
With those extremely awesome bad boy wheels.
Let's just get a close up on these, just so that we know what we're dealing with here. Yeah, racing. All right, so we're gonna get right to it. We're gonna jack this thing up, get the wheels off, and get going. Change it, change it. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Paper.
Sick.
Instructions?
Okay.
Ooh, that's sick.
So have you ever done this before, Cam?
No, I have not.
Are you excited?
I'm stressed.
No need to be stressed. All you gotta do is read the instructions.
That's true.
All right. So we've got 17-inch wheels here.
Yeah, so typically you should get 4 cans and a prep spray, but I ordered a size up just to be sure, just to be safe. That.
So an extra can of gloss black just to be sure that you're covering and getting that extra thickness, because you want this to last as long as possible.
Yes, of course.
All right, so instructions.
So first off, we need to prep. It's very important.
Prep is key. We've said it enough.
Yeah, prep is key. Wash and rinse the surface. Easy enough.
Let's do it. So we've got all the loose debris, anything that's kind of just road grime off.
Yep.
The next step, wipe this down.
Yeah, wipe this down, then use the prep spray. Then use the prep spray, then wipe it down again, and then you're good to go.
All right, let's get it done. Cam is getting a new microfiber over there, and we've spotted something.
Got on tape.
We've got a little extra here. This is gonna come on throughout the video, but these nooks and crannies where the spoke meets the barrel, those are tough to clean, tough to dry, tough to spray. So really make sure that you hit them properly. Will these still be bad boys once they're sprayed?
They're gonna be bad boys for sure. I think it will add horsepower to
How much
the car.
horsepower?
Like maybe 100? Is that enough? I don't know.
These are all pretty dry.
Yeah.
So next step,
Is the prep spray.
prep spray.
Like
So again, you want to really make sure that these corners here, that they're nice and dry, nice and clean, because that's typically something we see with some customers. They say, well, it starts to lift, and the number one places it lifts is in these tough cracks. So really take the time, don't rush yourself, make sure it's nice and clean and dry.
Faut-tu aussi ça, que ça soit quand même dry?
Yeah, so another thing is making sure this crack here is nice and dry, because that's where your tape's gonna come in. And if it's wet, then the adhesion on the tape is gonna be affected, and then you can have it kind of pull out, and then you're gonna have issues with getting product on the tire. So again, take the time. Another trick, if you're in a shop or if you got a compressor, get some compressed air into this crack, and that will really help dry it all out. And again, make sure that you're not having no issues with the tape lifting or moving around when you're spraying. I think Cam does a lot of off-roading with the Subi, and yeah, we're gonna have
Well,
to.
I go camping a lot.
Oh, she's
so
a camper.
Pretty clean, guys.
All right, so
And also one thing to note is that we're not in direct sunlight. And currently out, I think it's about 69 Fahrenheit. And the humidity level is below 60. So that's a good thing to know.
excellent. All right, so these are nice and clean, all 4. We checked every single nook and cranny, super clean. So next step,
Mask.
mask
The
it
wheels.
is.
Yeah.
Mask it is. All right, so tape.
Tape. I need to get some tape. Okay. So you can grab the essential kits that we have, which gives you masking tape.
Masking tape.
1.5 inch, I think.
Yep.
The tape and drape.
Yep.
Microfiber. And the Pro Essential kit gives you the trigger grip as well.
So, tape, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Get her done. So she's jumping right in here, and definitely the first thing to do is come and get this edge here nice and taped up. And then from there, if you did get the essential kit and you grab some tape and drape, then from this line, you can start to lay down your tape and drape and come and cover the rest of this here. Now, before we get too far, there is one other thing we got to discuss.
Yeah.
Center caps.
Oh yeah. I wish I could paint them.
Why? They're so nice.
Because they're written bad boys.
Bad boy wheels.
Bad boys for life.
So these center caps, they look like they're made of metal, but when you touch them, definitely not metal, and the laminate is already kind of peeling away. So as much as we'd like to cover those up, we got to take them out.
Yeah.
So you can keep masking this up. Before we do the tape and drape, we'll just flip this over, tap it up. All right, so I mean, this is pretty straightforward. We're overlapping the tape all the way around. So I'm gonna put the camera down, help cam, so we can get all these 4 wheels done up. Let's do it. So we got the main tape done here. Before we get into tape and drape, there is one other thing we gotta remember, and that is valve stems. Where is it? Here. So you wanna make sure you're covering up those valve stems.
Not quite.
So you want to take a little bit less tape. You really don't need that much. So right now you got a little flower design going. We can get rid of that. Oh, we're going on top of it.
Nope, okay.
I would suggest starting over, and what you want to do is use less material, because when you start spraying this, this is going to start just basically blocking this spray from hitting the wheel. So let's go fresh on this.
It's my first time, guys. I was not kidding.
So yeah, you can definitely use less tape. So now just a little hat for your tape job there.
Woo.
Boom, there it is. And we mustn't forget, like we said earlier, center cap's got to come out. So before we start laying down that tape and drape, we're gonna pop those out real quick. Simple enough. Most center caps, just lift the wheel up. You wanna get behind the wheel, grab something nice and soft here, and you're gonna wanna pop it out. So with these center caps, you wanna give it a nice hit, tap it, and there she goes.
Sorry.
It's all good. Given that we don't care too much about these center caps, we don't really care about them falling on the ground, but if you have nice center caps, make sure you got a hand or something there to catch it so that you're not scratching them up. So there it is, center cap's up. And put this wheel back down. That was fun. Well, you can do it 3 more times. So we've got tape on, we've got valve covers masked, we've got center caps out. Now we gotta do some tape and drape.
Yep.
Cover the rest of the tire. And one other thing is these wheels have decals. Racing sport, because Cam loves to go fast.
Of course.
So with decals, you got 2 options. You can spray over them. Some vinyl stickers are totally fine. You won't have any issues, it won't bubble, it won't lift. But in terms of having the product come off the sticker, that's another story. So if you are spraying on top of them, expect them to pretty much be toast afterwards. And the other option is just peel them right off. There's not guaranteed that you can put them back on, but at least you won't have any risk of them bubbling up and damaging your finish. So what are we gonna do?
We're gonna peel them off.
We're gonna take them off. Okay, that's not. So now that we've removed the stickers, we want to make sure that all the adhesive that's left over on the surface is taken care of. So another hit of prep spray and wipe it down. All right, so we've actually added some tape all the way to the edge of the wheel here, and what that does is it makes it a lot easier for you to do a nice straight line all the way around the wheel instead of having to then curve the tape. It gets messy. So if you can, bring your tape all the way to the edge of the wheel and it'll make it a lot easier. Next up,
tape and drape.
So tape and drape all the way around and some of you might be wondering, why aren't we masking the inside barrel here? Well, these are black wheels. We're throwing gloss black on them, and once we remove the gloss black from here, there really isn't that much overspray that gets onto here. Plus, it's actually quite dirty in here, and so the product's gonna lay flat on top of that dirt, that debris, and so it's basically just a pressure washer to get rid of any overspray that's in there. So you can, if you want a really clean job, or if you have a spoke design that kind of bleeds a lot of light through there and that you can see if there's overspray. But in this case, black on black, we're gonna spare ourselves the time. We're gonna get going on here. And what are you doing now, Cam?
I'm tucking the tape between the wheel, the gap, the what?
Basically, what Cam is doing is she's tried to explain it to her, but we got this. Basically, you're gonna tuck the tape into this crack here to make sure that you don't have any product bridging. What that basically is having the product bridge between the rim and the tape. And that's a problem because when you come to lift it up, you're gonna lift up the tape and it's gonna come and catch the rest, and then you're gonna have issues. So by tucking it in nice and deep in there, you're gonna make sure that the product separates properly, and when you lift the tape, it doesn't lift up the rest.
Okay, so now we've done the prepping, the masking. We're gonna do the spraying part.
All right, here we go. So, as we said earlier, the temperature is right, the humidity is right. We're not in direct sunlight. The only one thing we gotta solve now is wide open door, wind.
That's a no.
So we're gonna shut this thing down here. Let's just.
And now we can spray. So first things first, shake the can for a full minute.
How did you learn that? Did you read the back of the aerosol?
I read the back and I went on the website, the how to spray section. We have videos for you guys there. And I know how to shake a can because I make myself a lot of cocktails. Okay.
All right, so light first coat.
Yep.
Why do we do a light first coat?
To check for surface contamination.
Yes, exactly. So
very important.
This is when we find out if we prepped it right. So, ready to spray?
Yeah.
Just about?
Just about. I think I'm missing a tool.
Oh yeah?
Very important.
All right, let's have it then.
Go.
Can gun, pretty easy. Slide it onto the rails of the can there.
Oh. Here you
now
go.
It's on there. Make sure it's
Straight.
solid. The can doesn't fall on your wheels. And test spray.
I think we're good.
All right. So,
okay. So
technique.
What do we do?
Technique. What you want to do is, with spraying, you want to make sure that you're getting even coverage. That's the name of the game. And so, you want to pick a spot on the wheel that you're going to start and that you're going to finish. So the easiest thing to do is to find your valve stem and start from the valve stem and then go around. So clockwise, counterclockwise, doesn't really matter, but start from there, work your way around. I'll let you go ahead. We'll see how she goes.
Should I start right here?
You start wherever you feel is right and we'll see what happens. So already you can just back up slightly. Okay. Yeah, you want to go and mist it. Exactly.
That makes sense?
That makes sense. What I would suggest first off is when you're spraying a wheel like this, you can start with, say, doing the barrel. So you want to make sure you're hitting all sections of the barrel. So you're going to use one motion covering that barrel, and then you can hit spokes. And that's why what I saw is you're kind of going across the spokes.
Yeah.
And if you want to make it a lot easier and lose less product, focus on specific areas instead of kind of going with general sprays. So barrel first, and then you start doing spokes. So we'll go to the next wheel. This is fine. And if you inspect the wheel, everything looks good. We don't have perfect coverage, but we'll work on that. But there's no fish eyes, so prep is done right.
Good.
So next wheel.
Okay.
So again, if we take what I just suggested, do the barrel. So you're gonna work your way around, and we actually have these nifty barrels that really help, again, to pull this wheel out. So without touching the wheel, without contaminating it, you can actually just roll it out a little bit. And make sure you have sufficient room around the wheel so you can kind of work your way around. So again, start the valve stem and really focus here on the outside barrel. Again, we're going with light coats, so you don't need to go too heavy. You don't have to stay in the same area for too long. Nice, swift movements, and cover that outside barrel first.
So, outside barrel.
Excellent, perfect. Now you can actually move around the wheel. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And you've made it to the valve stem.
Yay.
So now you can do the same thing, starting from the valve stem, but now hit the spokes. So from above, you can kind of just spray them.
with
And
an
if you want to do one movement, one spoke, you'll be able to do them pretty quick. Exactly. So. And you're actually doing 2 passes on each spoke, which is fine, but what we suggest again is a nice light first coat. So if you actually just do 1 pass per spoke, you're gonna get that nice kind of little test coat to make sure that everything's good. So you can actually, there you go, perfect. So the last spokes, and you can kind of just do a little bit of a hit on the center here, just to make sure we're good. So that's again giving us kind of an idea about whether or not we've prepped it right, which once again, it's looking pretty good. Now, we're gonna notice here too, this is gonna be pretty tough because as we saw earlier, the inside kind of lip here goes under the spokes. So we're gonna wanna make sure once we start laying down the heavier coats that we're hitting that section to make sure there's enough product for it to peel once we wanna get rid of this gloss black. So, first light mist coat is done. We wait how long?
10 to 15 minutes. So one great tip for you guys is to soak the can in hot water for about 10 minutes before spraying. It's gonna, what is it gonna do, Alex?
It makes it spray better, so your product's gonna lay down evenly. And also it's gonna, with that heat, all the product from within the can is actually gonna come out. So you're not gonna be left with any product at the bottom. So you're using up every ounce of product that's in there instead of having some left over that you can't actually spray out. So we recommend 5 to 10 minutes in this water. It's gonna come and activate the product, make it a lot easier to spray. So what are we at now? 2 minutes?
2-3 minutes, yeah.
We'll wait a little longer and then we're ready to spray. Let's start here on this first wheel. And actually, before we start, one other thing. With spokes like this, some 5-spoke wheels are actually quite flat, pretty easy to hit from any angle. Another thing you want to make sure is you're hitting both sides of the spoke, because if you're hitting it from one direction, you go all the way around, really you're only hitting the side of the spoke that you're seeing when really there's the other side. So what you can do is you're going to want to do 2 rotations around the wheel to just do the spokes. So you can start here and say you spray this side, this side, this side, this side, and then starting from the same spot, go on the other side and then the other direction. That way you're hitting both sides of the spoke. All right, so
makes sense.
Let's do it.
Je fais-tu le barrel avant?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So same technique, you can start with the barrel, make sure that's covered. Perfect. And we're getting some nice coverage on that red. I'd say you just have that little corner left there. Perfect. So now you're hitting this side, and so you're getting into these cracks here, which is super important. And again, you're actually doing it perfect is instead of just aiming for the spoke and stopping and going back, you're going all the way into the center, and then that's going to give you nice coverage on the kind of hub section of the wheel. Now rotate and the other side, perfect.
Should I do also the...
Yeah, you're gonna wanna do one swift coat all the way around and build up some product on that edge, because as you can see from certain angles, it's actually hard to hit that, so go ahead.
It's already looking very good.
Perfect. Oh, that's a great second coat. Yeah, she's got a lot of coverage. This is actually just the second coat. So, 1, 2. All right, so we just finished up the second wet coat. Since the following 3 or 4 coats are about the same, Tam's got the technique locked, we're actually just gonna jump to the 8th coat, which is when we're gonna start getting heavier, going for that gloss. So we're gonna tag team these, we're gonna get it done, and then we'll be back in just a minute.
So now we're starting the 9th coat, so 2 coats left. So according to Alex, we're gonna go nice and heavy on the coats to get the gloss finish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so the technique changes ever so slightly. We're still going to make sure that we're following the pattern, hitting every part of the wheel, but now we really want to focus on the face section of the wheel. So the gloss is really going to show off on every flat surface, and that's where it's the easiest to get. So when you come around to the end, you're going to really want to come and focus on every section that's flat here. So the face of the wheel and top of the barrel. So you're going to slow down your spraying just a little bit so that every pass is laying down just that much more product. So you can slow it down a little bit more. Exactly.
Oh.
That can sounds like it's getting pretty empty.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's nothing left there.
There's nothing left, so let's grab that last can. We're gonna let Cam go ahead and finish these two wheels the same way she did these two, and we'll check back with you for that last coat.
Sure.
We are done with all the gloss black, and it looks pretty sick. We've got good gloss, we've got nice consistent finish all across these four wheels, but Cam, he wants even more gloss, so she ordered from over there.
Over there. I stole it. Don't tell my boss.
She got herself a Super Wrap Clear. The Super Wrap Clear does
It adds shine.
gloss,
Sheen,
sheen,
gloss.
gloss.
And durability against chemicals. What else? UV.
Great pitch. Added UV protection, added chemical resistance, and additional gloss. So we're gonna go from gloss to super gloss, may I say? The more clear coat you have, the more depth and the more glass-like it becomes. So the finish looks great. So
And also the more layers you have, the more durability you have. So.
exactly. And the more durability and the more layers, the easier it is to peel.
So I'm happy.
So basically you're picking up the same spraying technique with the clear as you were on the last coat of gloss black. So nice and heavy all across the board. Let's get her going. So perfect technique, starting on the outside and then building her way into getting full coverage and then hitting the top with a bunch of product to make it nice and gloss. Morning.
Morning.
And how are we doing?
Doing great.
How are the wheels looking?
Great.
And
amazing.
what's the next step? We're picking up where we left off?
Yeah, so it's the next day and we need to unmask the wheels
All right.
before putting them on the car.
So we've let them dry overnight
Yeah.
and they're ready to go.
So what do I need to do?
Well, again, in the same essence of why we tuck the tape before spraying, you also can run a card in this gap here to make sure that if there was any bridging, that you can break that bridge and you won't have any lifting issues once you go and peel up that tape.
So excited.
We're gonna just jump ahead, unmask these, and check back in when it's time to remount them. So here we go. These actually turned out perfect. And so nothing left to do but to throw them back on the car. Let's see it, let's see it, let's see it. I'll give you a hand here. There is one essential last piece missing to this beautiful puzzle.
Yeah. Can you guess what it is?
Oh, I can't wait. It's really gonna tie the whole look together. The car is looking much better, But there is one thing
thing.
missing. La pièce de résistance. Bad boy wheels. Alright, throw them on there.
Alright.
But look at that finish. So, a first-time user, no drips, no sags, no issues, and plenty of gloss.
Yeah. So if I can do it, you guys can do it too. Now I know why I only attract bad boys.
Do we cut the video there? Is that how we end it? So if you have any questions about the application process, well, Cam now knows exactly what you should be doing, so she'll be the one helping you out if ever
Well,
you got some.
I knew before, but now I've done it, so I mean.
So, you got any questions, comments, techniques you think Kemi should apply to her next project?
Is that what they do usually?
Comment in the description.
Or I think now it's there or there.
Alright, I think we're just gonna slowly fade into nothing here.